Okay, this is on page 3 of your class packet, and this chapter is all about systems. A system is going to be a question that has 2 equations in it that we need to solve for. And there's 3 different ways we can do that. The first way is by graphing. So what I want to do is I want to start by making sure these are both in the correct form, y equals mx plus b. And then I'll graph both of the lines separately. So my first one would be y equals 2x plus 0. So I'll start at 0, and then my slope is 2 over 1. It's positive, so I'm going up, and then to the right 1. And you want to put as many points on your graph as possible. Your whole goal is to see where the 2 lines cross. So that's why I need to put as many points as I can, because I don't know where they're going to cross, and I'm not going to draw my line through it just yet. I'm going to graph my other one first. So this one starts at 4. And the slope is positive 1 over 1. So up 1 to the right 1. Okay, so I see where they cross. They cross at the point 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is my answer. Now that I have my answer, I'm going to go back and draw my lines through it. You don't have to wait until the end to draw your lines through it. When you draw your lines through it, it kind of gets sloppy and it's hard to see where they intersect. So I find the point where they cross, write out my answer, and then I draw my lines. So that's what you're doing. You want to graph both of these, see where they cross, there's your answer. This next one, before I even graph it, I know it's going to be no solution because they have the same slope. We learned last chapter that when they have the same slope, they're parallel, which means they're never going to cross. So this one would be no solution. So that leads us into the 3 different types of answers we can get. The first kind is when I have 2 lines here. They're just directly on top of each other. Since they're directly on top of each other, I have infinite solutions. I could have 2 lines that never touch. That'd be no solution. Or I could have 2 lines that cross. So they would have 1 solution. And that 1 solution would be the actual point where they intersect. So those are the 3 different types of answers you can get with a system. So in this next example, you would want to make sure they're both in y equals mx plus b. Once you get them in the correct form, you would graph both of them and write down where they cross, if they do cross. And in this case, they do cross at the point negative 1, 5. So that would have been your answer for this one if you want to go ahead and try it and make sure you get that as your point of intersection.